You're overcomplicating the game, and today I'm going to prove it to you by losing lane in Iron. So, I am going to be playing in Iron, and I want to show exactly why I harp on so much about this strategy of pushing and how to do it properly, and why that is going to make you climb out of Iron. By losing lane, getting solo killed by Fizz, and missing a ton of CS, so I'm really far behind in lane, and then coming back by just having a lot of push, right? And by CSing. That's what I want to prove. For any of you wondering who I am Espinal Shori, formerly rank 1 Ahri on NA, or in the world actually, I think I was at some point. I've been challenger ever since season 4 on EU, Korea, and NA. I've been a professional coach for about 6 years. I've coached Iron, and I've coached all the way up to Pro Play. I've been on stage multiple times in the Polish Ultraliga and coached EU Masters. So, if you want to get coaching by me, by the way, mid.coach, link in the description. And if you want to ask questions, I will be doing a weekly stream. Go to my Discord and leave a question in there. So, the idea here is I'm going to put some severe limitations onto myself. I'm going to let Fizz get away with whatever he wants to get away with. I saw a comment in one of my videos that was like, hey, this game is a little bit unrealistic for Iron because your CS is too high and you're just winning lane. So I'm going to prove that it doesn't matter if you win lane. You can lose lane and still carry the game, as long as you just keep the game extremely simple and focus on what matters, which is last hitting and getting push. Nothing else matters at this level of play. I'm going to give you some tips as to how to navigate that. Level 1 on Ahri, generally speaking, you can go for a very big level 1 trade. Let me show you exactly how. You would just proc electrocute and then back off. It's very important that you back off because you are putting yourself on cooldown, right? Meaning that the enemy laner can now punish you because you don't have spells. That is a very, very important idea. Another idea that's going to matter a lot, and that I think is probably the most important thing you can learn how to do next to CSing well, is learning where to position in the lane to be safe. So, when you are on cooldown or when you are playing for CS, you want to be playing on the opposite side of the lane as the Fizz or as the enemy laner, because that's how you're going to create the maximum amount of distance, which is going to make it as hard as possible to trade for the enemy Fizz, right? So, what I mean by this is, if I'm trying to go for last hits, or if I'm on cooldown, I want to be as far away from the Fizz as possible, right? So I'm going to be playing on this diagonal, because this is going to create a lot of distance between us, and it's going to make it hard for him to trade with me. Now, if I want to trade with the Fizz, I will play on his side of the lane, like this, to make the distance shorter between us, right? And that's going to allow me to get in range. You want to use this concept of positioning opposite the enemy laner and position on the same side of the enemy laner, depending on when you want to play for trades or not. So, for example, there are 2 main timers in the lane where you want to play for trades. Let me show you. You want to play for trades, first of all, when the enemy laner has to go for CS, because then they're weak. You can punish them quite easily, so you want to play on their side of the lane when that happens, right? And you want to play for CS, play for trades. Let me walk up here and let the Fizz trade with me a little bit. There we go. So he takes a winning trade, but now he's on cooldown. So I want to play for trades now because he's on cooldown. Now I couldn't play for a trade there, sadly. So, alas, it is not, I'm not able to showcase it, but that's the idea. The biggest thing you can learn as an Iron player in terms of when to take trades, or just below gold to be honest, is you want to take trades when the enemy laner is on cooldown. It is very difficult to properly track trading when the enemy laner has to go for CS, because you need to kind of keep track of your minion state and everything, so it's a bit harder. So you just want to trade when they're on cooldown. Now, I'm going to try to let the Fizz walk up and murder me here. Let's just say I make a mechanical misplay, but you can see now he's on cooldown, so I want to step up. I want you to, every single game that you see the enemy laner use a spell, punish them. Walk up, step onto their side of the lane. I'm going to die here. He should be able to kill me here. Let's see if he will. There we go. Sweet. So let's just say you get solo killed randomly, right? Let's say you randomly die. It will happen sometimes. You will mess up your spacing. You will get fizzed. Fizz can do some very, very obnoxious things if you don't know how to space him properly. So let's say you die. Teleport back to lane. All good. No worries. I haven't lost a whole lot. I'm down 1 minion. That's fine. Here, I don't want to push the wave. This is going to be a little bit trickier. Actually, I'm going to push the wave because I recommend that you always push the wave. The nuances are, they're going to net you like 1 or 2 minions in certain specific instances. I would have denied the Fizz an extra 2 minions there if I slow push the wave, but honestly, push every single wave. Don't even think about it. Push every single wave. Now I'm going to show you exactly how you can leverage or how you can push very easily without getting punished. So you want to use this idea that I talked about before of pushing, using your spells on the wave, and then stepping onto the opposite side of the lane as the enemy laner so they cannot trade with you because you're on cooldown. Now, after you push, you want to always do something. So here I'm going for some wards because there's not a whole lot that I can really do. I don't really see any viable roams. I don't have level 6, so it's not like I can really do anything like that, right? So you want to always push, always be autoing the wave. Then Q, walk away, sit back. This is okay. You can wait for spells. Play on the opposite side of the lane of the Fizz. Play really far back and then Q the wave again. And now you've completely pushed out the wave. You can do whatever you want to. You can harass the Fizz under tower. You can go for a roam. You can do whatever. But you always want to make sure that you're doing something. I like to say, always check your minimap and see if any roams look possible, right? So for example here, does a bot lane roam look possible? Does a top lane roam look possible? I don't think so. So we'll just return back to mid lane. No reason to go for a roam that you think is bad. Always push out mid lane before you do anything. Always push out your wave. So here, I don't think any roams are possible. Fizz is roaming top lane. Seems like he's making a pretty big mistake. So we'll stay mid lane and just push out the wave. And we'll just slap this tower. Oh, he might be able to get a kill here, actually. Okay, so he gets a shutdown. So he's quite fed. Garen opens mid lane. Not a bad play by him. But I'm going to keep being very non-interactive. He's going to run at me. That's okay. I'm just going to Q the wave and then step back. Q the wave and step back. And I promise you, people below diamond, not below diamond, maybe below gold, sorry, don't know how to deal with this. They do not know how to punish you for pushing the wave. If you Q the wave, step back, wait, you'll be fine. Like, you will have so much success, I promise you. Gonna sell my potion because realistically speaking, we're not gonna use that anyway. So the limitation that I read was try not to have above 70 CS at minute 10. So we're gonna probably go die mid once more. So I bleed some minions and then we'll play it from there. Then we'll try to come back from there. But I want to show you that even though even if you fall behind in lane, you can still have permanent push like this. Q the wave, step back. Now he wastes cooldowns. That means we want to step up and punish him, right? Remember, when the enemy laner wastes cooldowns, we want to step up and trade with them. You always, always, always want to look for that trade when they waste cooldowns. That guy is not killable. So at level 7 on Ahri, very fun fact, your Q doesn't quite kill the casters unless you also have a blasting wand. So you have to QW them. If you have a lost chapter and a blasting wand, it will kill them. Or if you're just absurdly fed with a very, very early lost chapter, that works as well. I need to get solo killed here because otherwise I'll have too high CS. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right here. He will kill me right here. I'm not even going to ult. Actually, let's just ult for the sake of it. We take his flash, that's fine. Okay. So now we've really griefed our lane, right? We've gotten solo killed twice. We're down, not down CS, we're down XP. The enemy mid laner is kind of just making it happen. Now we can play the game. Now I want to show you how this style can work very well. The enemy Fizz has 4 kills. If you're playing this game, you're like, oh, I'm starting to sweat a little bit, you know, it's getting a little bit concerning. I want to show you that you can just push the wave, back off, and have permanent priority and still win the game. Okay? Sorry if, by the way, any of that was like me dying on repeat. It might be a bit cringeworthy, I will be honest. Like, whenever I see people misplay, like in videos, it kind of makes me a bit sad, you know? I'm like, ah, damn, that sucks. So sorry if you felt like that as well. I'm going to push out the wave. I'm not going to go for any roams before I've pushed out the wave. So push out the wave. Going to push it out with Qs. And I'm not going to roam here because I don't have my ult. Fizz is low health, so I do want to try to trap him in lane. I think it's okay for me to just continue CSing. Now I think I've gone far enough down in the lane. He's wasting spells, so we do want to see if we can punish him for that. Missed my charm. That sucks. We want to start thinking about a roam because we have our ult coming up and the Fizz is more than likely going to base here. I also would like to base for a blasting wand because that's going to allow me to shove out the wave. But I'm going to hit level 9 quite soon. So we're going to shove out this wave. And then we're instantly going to look bot lane. Does this look roamable? I have a Rel who's level 6. The enemy Jhin is low health and my ult is coming up. We're pushing in this wave. This looks like a dive to me because of those reasons. The enemy Jhin is low, so I think we can easily dive him. Teemo should be here somewhere, but I don't know where. Just fire a random charm. Would have been awesome if I hit him. Okay, perfect. We got our roam off. Now, we will return to mid lane and keep playing how we've been playing. We are going to push the wave, and we are going to do nothing else. Now, returning to mid lane here is a bit dodgy, because if I run into the Fizz, he's going to murder me. He has a full item on me. He might actually be able to dive me here, if he's a bit confident. I think he could try to play for a dive, but he's not trying to. I am down a full level and some items here, so it's gonna be a bit dodgy. He's playing on the other side of this wall. We see him. The ward that I placed while running away, super helpful. If he runs towards mid lane, I do kind of just have to back off. Use my W for the movement speed to dodge his ult. He is massively winning here, and because I can't Q to one-shot the casters, I'm not going to approach them yet. Now I hit level 9, and you'll start seeing why Ahri becomes so obnoxious. I actually wanted the cannon minion there. I didn't want to hit the Fizz. You'll start seeing why Ahri is so obnoxious. Because now I can one-shot the wave without ever really needing to hit the casters with anything but my Q. So I'm going to just push the wave like so. And then take my base, because I have Malignance in base. Fizz is probably roaming. I would like that you don't go there. Fizz is losing a wave for this, so I'm kind of okay with this. Gonna instantly teleport mid lane, grab a pink ward. What item are we going this game? Lichbane doesn't seem terrible. Hourglass is very good because the enemy team has a Fizz Vi. So it might actually be a game where Hourglass second is viable. I'm not gonna build that because most people just straight up won't. I think Horizon Focus, for the most part, will just always be very, very solid. But this is a game, for the record, where you can just play Hourglass second item. He's trading with me. I don't know if he's necessarily winning this. He should have his E up again, so I don't think I can really commit. It's a Vi. I think I can charm her here and then kind of be okay. Big bait. They should die. Nice. Sweet. Yeah, I mean, you can imagine an Hourglass there would have been awesome. Just because then the Vi can't get her ult out. So I see no threat to anyone coming mid lane, so I'm going to shove out the wave pretty securely. And I think I can even play for this plate because the Fizz is low health. Now, my Lee Sin wants to share this plate with me, which I despise. I don't think he should do this. This is pretty annoying for me, but so it goes. Now, am I going to be playing Magic Pen Boots? How many targets do I realistically have? Who am I one-shotting this game? I don't think I can one-shot the Fizz. I don't think I can one-shot the Vi, and I don't think I can one-shot the Garen. These two are my targets, but they're already a bit behind. So I think I'm just going to be playing Lucidity Boots to have my ult up more frequently and to get more spell rotations off. Because if I can get more charms, that's going to set up more kills. Push out my wave again. I want to make sure that I'm pinging that the Fizz can leave here. He's probably running top. Now, I'm not going to follow this roam. The reason being is the wave is very, very near, right? So the Fizz is going to bleed some waves here. And the wave is near, which means I don't have a lot of time to roam before the next wave would arrive, right? So I'm just going to stay mid lane and make sure that the Fizz bleeds for this roam. Now, Vi could run mid lane, and if she has ult, I think I can die to a potential Fizz play here. But I'm not going to follow whatever this Fizz is doing. It's very, very important you understand that you do not leave mid lane until you've pushed the wave. Unless you have like some absurd reason that you're very, very confident that a play can work. You don't leave. I don't care that my boys are fighting up here. I really don't. I'm going to take the mid lane tower. I'm going to get the mid lane waves. That's what I care about. And then I can look for a roam. Could maybe go top lane to defend the tower. I didn't really keep track of what was happening bot side. But I do want to run bot lane and get some vision in the enemy jungle. Because I want to try to break this bot lane tower. That's going to be the next goal. But we've mostly stabilized the mid lane at this point, despite the fact that the Fizz was 4-0. So what we're going to do here is we're going to continue just being mid lane, pushing out the wave. Fizz has dropped a lot of health. We have a level advantage now as well. Bot lane has been killed, so I think I can actually just continue pushing out mid lane. Fizz is roaming again. I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to sit mid lane. And Fizz is going to run bot lane, and I'm just going to slap this tower. I want you to see how many bad roams people take trying to impact the map. And how much they bleed for it. And how much you can punish them by just staying mid and not moving if you don't see a good play. So that tower is now completely chunked. I'm going to go for a ward here on the top side. I don't feel comfortable hitting this tower, even though I do have a lot of vision on the bot side, so I potentially actually could. I think a base here does not sound terrible, mostly just because I have quite a lot of gold, and I don't feel comfortable pushing out the next wave not having any vision. Horizon Focus is reasonable. A lot of people were asking for my build, and I am going to make a video on it at some point, but for 90% of use cases, Horizon Focus second is really, really good. Ping my Riven back. Please don't die. I think you have just killed yourself. No, you have not. Awesome. Yeah, Horizon Focus is serviceable in 90% of instances. So if you don't know what to build, just build Horizon Focus. You'll be fine. Horizon Focus Death Cap, for the most part, will do the job. Again, push out mid lane. High likelihood that Fizz is on Herald here. I do not care. I will push out my wave, and then I will do something. Now the question is, do I slap this tower because it's low health? I think the answer is yes. The enemy team are all up here. I see everyone, so I know that I can very safely push out here and step up. This is the second, or probably the most important skill when it comes to side laning and mid game. Tracking enemy champions. So right now I know Vi is here, Garen is here, Fizz is here, and I saw 2 people bot lane. Free kill on the Teemo here, so that's awesome. Don't know where the enemy Jhin is, but I have killed the Teemo. And now I'm going to return to mid lane. Make a play, push out the wave, roam, use my ult, come back to mid lane, and play safe. I have to play a bit safe here because the Fizz has ult and he can just one-shot me. Like, he is fed. Don't get me wrong, I've recovered the game. But without ult, and if he lands a full rotation on me, a Fizz is still Fizz. He will still murder you. So it's very important that you try to be a bit passive in that regard. Horizon Focus is getting close. Top lane is starting to lose, so we might have a game on our hands. The way we're going to win this game is just driving it through bot lane, I think. That's how we're going to win this game. Bot lane is winning, and I have killed the enemy bot lane twice, so I think the way we can win this game is keep playing around the Ezreal. I've broken a tier 2 mid lane as well, so we should have a ton of control around mid lane. I want to try to play this. It's going to be a bit hard. I don't know if we can necessarily one-shot the Garen. Maybe. It's going to be a bit close. Ult after him. Play it slow. Very important to play it slow here. Play it slow. If I hit that charm, she could die. She can still die. Play for my rotations. Terrible misplay on my part. Fizz is up, so I'm a bit worried. Miss every single charm. Miss every single spell, dare I say, but doesn't matter, because playing patiently. Very important that you don't just go in with your ult without having spells up. It's the biggest error I see Ahri players make in team fights. Is they will ult in without having any of their other spells up. And your ult doesn't really do a lot of damage. You need to be using that in combination with other spells. You need to be using that in combination with your charm and your Q, even if you miss all of them. Gonna take our base here. And now we start getting into a mid-game sequence where, as many of you know, dude, but Hourglass is so good this game, but I can buy Medjais, but I'm just so likely to die. No, let's go Hourglass. I think I'm too likely to die just looking at Vi, Fizz. I can just die to a one-shot. It doesn't matter that I have ult and I have flash. Now, we're going to open through bot lane because my Ezreal wants to go mid lane. So the name of the game now, push out bot lane. Oh, sorry, there's a fight happening here. I think my Lee Sin is dead. Yeah, he is. The name of the game now. Oh, sorry, there's also a fight happening up here. We can catch the Jhin here. There's gonna be a Fizz somewhere as well. Remember, use your spells together. When you don't have spells up and you need to really get some damage off, you can use your ult, but you don't want to be using your ult otherwise. Big fight. Gonna open through bot lane here. Name of the game now, side laning. How do you side lane? You go to the lane where no one else is, and then you push out your waves. So I'll push out bot lane here, and I'm going to keep applying pressure. And then when I've pushed out the wave, while doing this, I need to keep track of where people are on the map. So this is a very important exercise to get into the habit of doing. So whenever you're in the side lane, while you're CSing, I want you to look at the map and be like, okay, where are people? Teemo's top lane, Garen is mid lane, Vi just came out of spawn, Jhin is unknown, and Fizz is unknown. They also just came out of spawn. Jhin is mid lane, Garen is probably in base, someone was top lane. Teemo's top lane. Okay. Vi is bot lane. This is super important to keep track of because it lets you know how safe you are. Because if everyone is missing, they can all be on you, and you can die very easily. We can go on Fizz here because he wasted a spell. Play it slow. Be patient with your spells. Be patient with your spells. Incredibly important to be patient. Heal my Ezreal here. What do we do next? So after a fight is over, the first thing you should look for is, can I get resources anywhere? Let's look at the map. Am I needed with my team anymore? I don't think I can get resources anymore. The wave is really far out. Top lane looks very good to me, but Riven's probably going to go back up there to collect the waves. Now I can get my Magi because I have Seekers, so I feel pretty comfortable having a Magi now. Riven is probably going to run back to top lane, so I don't see the need to run up there. So I'm probably just going to go bot lane again and apply some pressure. The name of the game when you're side laning, your goal, and I'm probably going to make a video on this as well. If not, I'll have a written piece on it once I get my email notifications set up that I'll send out to you guys if you go to my site. You want to go to the side lane, apply pressure, push the wave out, and when someone comes to match you, because they should, then you leave the lane and you try to take control over the enemy jungle, and you look for a pick, for example. So the Teemo's here, I can look for a pick on him. Again, sometimes you miss spells, that can happen. And then after you found a pick, you return back to the side lane, and you keep applying pressure. Now you might wonder, well, why is that? I actually think I can die to the Garen, so I'm actually just going to straight up leave. But you might think, why are you back in the side lane? You just created a numbers advantage. Yes, but I used my ult. So that means I do not have my ult for a potential team fight. So what's actually going to be more impactful is if I have killed someone on the enemy team, I go side lane. I get to get my minions. I get to get my resources, right? That's awesome. And I get to drag someone on the enemy team down here to match me when I don't have my ult and I'm kind of useless. So they have to spend someone to match me, a weakened version of me because I don't have my ult, right? It's very, very cool. So again here, the name of the game, push out, and then try to see if you can make a play. I think base here probably looks good because the enemy team is doing some funny stuff on the top side here. So I'll base and go top lane and match it. Might have been able to teleport up here and look for a play, but I prefer to just save my teleport so I have it available. You're generally speaking not going to be using teleport for a whole lot at this level of play. Alt, Q, charm, miss charm, that's fine. Play it slow, be patient. He flashes, that's fine. I take his flash, nothing else I can do. Okay, so I've used my ult. Again, the fight is over. Nothing else I can do. No reason to continue chasing. I'm not going to catch them. Instead, go get resources. Minions win games. I have 80 CS on the enemy Fizz, despite the fact that I missed a ton of CS in lane and got solo killed twice, right? Just because I'm collecting waves. And pushing waves. Going into the side lane, pushing waves, and now, again, after pushing the wave, we check the enemy jungle. Seems like there's a Vi here. I might actually be dead. Yeah, there's a Teemo there as well. I could flash, but I think I die anyway. I can hourglass. That's a Teemo's room. That's unlucky. Ah, she dodged it. I think if I hit that charm, I could Q hourglass, and killing the Vi would heal me, and I would get my ult back up, and I could outplay it. The problem being is I just missed the charm, right? Like, I don't know what else to say. Why did that happen? Because I didn't keep track of where the enemy champions were. I was not paying enough attention. If I kept track, I could have probably deduced that Teemo could be top lane. I found it very unlikely that the Vi would be in this bush. I thought that she would be on minions here, or on her jungle camps there. She just wasn't, which is fair enough. Could buy an hourglass here, but I like the idea of just upgrading my boots, and the only reason I have hourglass is for the Seeker's effect, right? I'm gonna TP in here. This fight looks very, very game deciding, so it might be lost already, actually. Let's be a bit patient here. Target. Fizz first. Play it slow. Be patient. Play for rotations. You can front to back as Ahri, believe it or not. Okay. Charm her out. Ult to redirect. Play for the Jhin. Wait for spells. Run! I'm okay, to be honest. Fizz doesn't kill me here. But I am missing a lot of spells. Okay, he dies. Keep playing it slow. I have red buff, so I can apply a slow on him. I didn't use my hourglass, by the way. The reason I knew I was fine is because I had hourglass. So if the Fizz really landed everything on me, I could just hourglass to dodge it. You can hourglass to dodge Fizz E, which takes away a lot of his damage, right? Looks like we want to play Drake. I don't really want to do that. Why? Because the Drake should be guaranteed anyway because we just killed 3 people on the enemy team. So again, lesson. Where, like if you're not needed in a fight, where can you get resources? Where can you apply pressure? Answer, top lane here. I can go top lane, I can collect waves, I can drag the enemy team top lane, and then I can back off because I don't know where they are. So I want to back off. I could take this tower, but I have no vision here and I see no one on the map at all. Now I see Garen, so I know that Garen cannot be top lane, but they could still send Vi and Teemo and Fizz and Jhin up here, right? So I don't want to step up very far yet. So I just want to take over their jungle instead until I see who's there. Vi is now down here. Perfect. That means Fizz and Jhin are the only ones that can be top lane, and I am okay fighting them. So I'll keep pushing top lane, and if no one comes up here, well, I mean, I'll take 3 towers. I'll get fed, right? So Fizz is not top lane. I see 4 people mid lane. I see 5 people mid lane. No one can be top lane. So I'm going to keep pushing. You might be tempted to be like, oh, you should definitely base here and defend this. Nah, but should I? Now, I actually don't know if I can beat Garen 1v1. So I might actually just have to straight up take my base here. Did I lose the game here? If he slow chases me, can they end? I don't have teleport. I think if he slow chases me here, I think they could have ended. Ezreal is up in 11. It's close. But they could have definitely taken Nexus towers. I have Death Cap now as well. I'm not going to be buying Hourglass because the only reason that I want it is for the Seeker's effect, right? I could look for a play here. Look for Vi, maybe? I missed. I didn't charm even. What? Wait, I didn't even charm. Oh, that sucks. Well, we lost an inhib, but we got a tower top lane. Again, I'm very serious when I'm telling you. Like, I will not join these fights if I don't think they're good and I don't think there's a need for them. And if I'm applying a ton of pressure on the map, I will not join them. I do not care. I'm up 90 CS and a ton of gold. I'm up a full item on the Fizz, basically, right? Like, I'm up a full item on anyone else in the game. So I am applying pressure in the side lane. Now I kind of do want to group because I mean, I'm basically full build, right? So we want to start grouping a little bit. There's no reason to get even more resources unless I want to fully complete an Hourglass, which I don't really care too much for. I do still want to catch this top wave, though. It is quite big. I am just worried that my teammates are going to decide to fight mid lane for absolutely no reason. Fizz is still bot lane. I'm going to run top lane and push out. Do we have a teleport? No. I'm the only one with teleport this game. So I might have to just base to match him. Depends what he does. But I have teleport coming up in 10, so I can match him. We're going to fight mid lane. Okay, let me... And I aggroed the Krugs as well, so they're gonna cancel me if I base. Please don't. You don't cancel me here, right? Oh my god, you do? Wow, you are walking quite far, aren't you? Yeah, I just bled a tower. Because I saw Fizz walk back, so I assumed he would just base. He just straight up didn't. We're fighting mid lane. Oh, my boys are dying. Okay, I can slow chase the Fizz. He dies. Okay, Fizz dies. I'm worried that they're going to take Nash off of that, but I will have my ult coming up quite soon. I need to go protect my boys, I think. Are they going to Baron? I didn't see the health of the enemy team. I am getting slightly worried at how this game is playing out, if I'm like super honest. Mostly because the enemy Fizz is side laning, which I was not anticipating. I was kind of hoping wouldn't happen. And Teemo's shrooms are going to get very annoying as well. Same with Jhin traps for wave clear. I want to just apply pressure and then try to look for fights. At this point, I'm playing a front-to-back style because we have a lot of people dead. So looking for flanks is going to be a bit hard. They also do have Teemo shrooms, right? I actually want to take control over this bot push, though. Would be awesome. She definitely saw me. I mean, I dodged that, though. Chunk her out. She doesn't quite die, but it's close. Yeah, he might have killed himself here. I might have killed myself here. Hourglass kind of sucked. Flash to the... here. Take her. There. Charm you. Play it slow. Patience. Charm. Misses. Sucks. The fact that that's how it's gonna... that play was a bit risky. I will admit, it was a bit risky. I did not anticipate Fizz being on the other side of that wall. I have my Hourglass now, though. So, base... This is such a chaotic game. I'm gonna be honest. Oh man, this is fun. This is super fun. Push out mid lane, probably run Baron. Again, I think there are a lot of important lessons to be learned this game. Push out mid lane here. My Lee Sin dies to a Teemo Shroom. That's just awesome. I think my Rel dies here as well. I'm gonna push out mid lane before I do anything. And then I can join the fight. Maybe Teemo dies. If Teemo dies, it's massive. My Ezreal failed his E over the wall. That's not ideal. Kill these shrooms. Kill these wards. Because they're very, 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 very annoying. Maybe we can find them here. Found the Jhin. Found the Garen. Found the Teemo. Nice. Play it slow. Patient with spells. Patient with spells. Fizz just wasted his E. He has no way of dodging my charm. I have Hourglass as well if need be. Okay, nice. We get a nice triple. I have Hourglass. I'm gonna just take my base. Because I'm low health and I don't want to walk into a Teemo Shroom and waste my Hourglass. So, take my base. Teleport back out onto the map. We want to go mid lane. Push out the wave. And then we want to look for traps in the enemy jungle. Whenever you get to like a mid-late game stage and you can't really apply pressure in the side lane anymore because your teammates are griefing or because you don't have teleport or something like that, the name of the game, push out a wave and take vision. And then set traps. So I can cut off the Vi here by running this way. And she'll be running around this corner and she dies. I want to walk into the enemy jungle, not because I necessarily want to create a pick, but because I want to make it annoying for the enemy team to try to contest this potential Drake. And looks like the Garen has just stumbled into us, so should be a free kill. Nice. Someone here. 2 people there. I don't want to fight them. I don't have my ult up. My Riven did just ult. I have no intention of trying to fight that. Seems she wants to kill herself, which is not very awesome. We're going to just push out mid-wave. We need to get waves before we can do anything, realistically speaking, right? So, we'll get the waves here. I don't know why I'm getting pinged. Sure thing, buddy. We could potentially Baron here. The problem being our Ezreal just based, so it doesn't look possible, and I don't have ult, so I don't actually want to fight anything. So, we'll push out and then take vision in the enemy top side. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to trap this bush. Now, I don't like that my teammates are trapping with me. I would rather them try to do something else and take control somewhere else, but if they want to trap with me. He has kind of given away that I'm in here by queuing it, which is just super awesomely done by him. Jhin steps in. Jhin dies. Teemo dies. Slowly. I have Hourglass if need be. Nice. Slowly, slowly, patient. Again, these picks are... These traps in the enemy jungle is how you're gonna carry games on Ahri. Because it's how you're gonna create picks. You can see my Ezreal is also just stumbling into the enemy Fizz. And he's gonna die. Because he just stumbles into him in the jungle. We can Baron here. The problem is Ezreal just killed himself again. So we don't have damage. I'm gonna push out mid lane. I have 4,000 gold, man. What am I gonna spend it on, man? Oh, yeah. I don't have mana, realistically speaking. Again, my job... in fights or in these objective moments is actually not to deal damage to the Baron. Now here I can because I just saw Garen bot lane and I know that the enemy team doesn't have anyone alive, so they have no one to realistically contest it. But my job is to stop someone from contesting the Baron. Ahri does not, like you can see, I am not dealing a lot of damage to this Baron. So if someone could contest it, it would be my job to sit in this bush right here or this bush right here and wait. And then when someone comes through here, to use my spells and then run away. Hello again, Mr. Jhin. Good night again, Mr. Jhin. There's a Teemo up here, right? Where did he go? I have no idea. But this idea of constantly trapping the enemy jungle is what's going to carry you games. Push out wave, trap the jungle. Push out wave, trap the jungle. Push out wave, trap the jungle. That's what you're doing on repeat. And you're trying to predict where the enemy AD carries are going to go or where the enemy squishies are going to go. You don't have to always find a squishy. It's okay if you don't. Of course, it's ideal if you do, but it's okay if you don't find a squishy. It might be a situation for a Crypt Bloom here instead of Horizon Focus, just because the enemy team is starting to stack a lot of magic resist, so Crypt Bloom is good. Gives me a little bit less AP, but does give me a lot of magic pen, and gives me the same amount of haste, so I don't mind taking this. Again, my job... during the mid-game is not to be on the waves here. It is to be on the side of the waves and look for picks and clear vision. That is my job. Dude. He's trying to backdoor? Oh, my teammates are fighting. My teammates are not fighting. Can we not just run him down? This is so funny. Oh, they have a ward here. That sucks. I mean, Fizz dying here could potentially lose them the game. Teemo's there. Catch the wave. Want to make sure that we get the wave as quickly as possible. He doesn't die. That sucks. Play it slow. Look for damage. Warded. I don't like that all my teammates are going top lane here. I feel like I'm kind of the only champion in the game right now. Like, despite the fact that my Ezreal has a lot of CS and a lot of kills, I feel like he's not really playing the game. Kill this Jhin trap. Take some vision on the bot side. They're shrooming. That's fine. We have vision. If the enemy team tries to fight here, we're massively winning. Shroom here, shroom here. They're looking for a flank. You're going to walk into a shroom. Yeah, there we go. Can look for the Vi over the wall. She dies here. She should get one shot. Look for the front line. The enemy back line is split. Can look for the Fizz here. Now we can look for the enemy back line. Play it slow. Wait for spells. Miss spells. And then hit them. And there we go. That should be the game. Sit on mid-wave. Sit out of vision. It is so important that you are out of vision. Which is why it's very annoying for me to play this game. Because it's against Jhin Teemo. They have traps everywhere, man. I don't have enough trinkets to get rid of them. I just don't. So they can always have vision on me, which is very, very annoying. But you can see, like, create picks in the jungle, push side lanes, and you will drop 24 kills with 10 CS per minute, despite the fact that you got clapped in lane. And you'll carry your teammates that are, like, surprisingly useless, despite the fact that they got a ton of kills. You know? It felt like they were getting a lot of kills, but not a lot of pressure, which is very odd. I always find that very odd when teammates get like a ton of kills, like they stomp the lane. Riven was stomping lane, boom, boom, beating Garen, and then she just did nothing, right? Like 20 damage, 20,000 damage. You serious? You dropped so many kills in lane. Ezreal as well. But it's because people just don't know how to deal damage at the lower end of the ladder. So if you can just learn how to use your spell rotations, learn how to get resources, because people don't get a lot of resources either, right? People had very low CS this game. You'll just show up to fights with more gold than the enemy, and you'll just be more useful. And then if you know this idea of looking for picks and taking control of the jungle with your sweeper, you'll stumble into so many free kills. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have a good one. See you. And let me know if you want to see more of these, by the way. And then join the Discord. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.